Well, when you go to the pharmacy, you expect to get the right prescription, but a Kane In Your Corner investigation finds 100,000 people every year are victims of prescription mistakes, and it's been happening more often.
News 12's Walt Kane looks at why this is happening and what you can do to protect yourself.
Lynn Callaway thought she was just getting a refill of her arthritis medication, but the prescription she wound up with at her local pharmacy was something very different.
I picked it up, didn't even look in the bottle because usually it's the same thing. And like about the second day or so, I was feeling not right.
How were you feeling? What was wrong?
Like aches and pains and, maybe my stomach was a little upset.
And it could have been a lot worse. Instead of her usual arthritis medicine, the pharmacy had given Lynn a chemotherapy drug. When your husband came to you and told you you'd been taking a chemotherapy pill, what did you think?
No. I was shocked, I said, no, I can't take this. I wasn't going to take it anymore.
Every time I do something, my skin busts.
Back in 2016, we told you about Willie Scott. He wound up bandaged from the shoulders down, his body covered in blisters, after he had a severe reaction to the wrong medication. In Willie's case, he was given a prescription intended for someone else.
A W and an O. I mean, a 3-year-old can figure that out.
The FDA receives more than 100,000 reports of medication errors each year. Kane In Your Corner checked the FDA's database and found complaints on everything from patients getting the wrong drug to the wrong dose.
How significant of a problem is that, and how big of a concern is it?
It's a big problem, and it's very significant.
The National Association of Boards of Pharmacy says increased workloads are threatening to make the problem worse. In Vermont, state regulators filed this complaint against Walgreens, saying the chain violated state law by operating stores without a pharmacist present. One of the stores reported 20 medication errors last year alone. Walgreens declined our request for a comment. And earlier this year, CVS announced it would start closing pharmacies for half an hour a day to give pharmacists a meal break.
Does that workload increase the risk of mistakes?
Yes, being in an environment where you're working extended periods of time, where you're filling numerous prescriptions while providing immunizations, and it can add up.
Perhaps because of that workload, few pharmacists are held accountable. Records show since 2019, New York has disciplined 22 pharmacists for prescription errors. Most got a fine. Connecticut says it received about 320 complaints about pharmacy errors since 2019. A spokesperson says just 9 cases resulted in a letter of reprimand. New Jersey says since 2019, it's taken disciplinary action in only 3 cases involving medication errors. So what can you do to prevent pharmacy errors? Experts offer this advice. Check the name to make sure the prescription you're getting is yours. If you have a common name, double-check the address and date of birth. If the pills look different, don't just assume it's a different generic. Do an internet search of the pill and its markings and make sure you're getting the right medication. And if anything seems off, ask questions. The Callaways say they're fortunate. Despite getting the wrong medication, Lynn is doing okay.
And I figure when you give someone a wrong pill, it could have caused major consequences. But in this case, it did not, luckily.
In Your Corner, Walt Kane, News 12.
And if you've had a pharmacy error or even another adverse event, you can report that to the FDA. We did put a link for you on our website, news12.com.